Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to put one of these penny farthings together. Right, so this is how our penny farthings come delivered. Today we're going to be using a 50-inch Mark IV, and we're going to get everything out of the box, talk about all the different components, how they go together, all the tools that you might need to put it together, and all the steps in between. Right, let's go and get ripped into this box and get started. And there we go, all out of the box. I've stripped most of the packaging off. Bloody loads in that box. But I've got most of the packaging off. So, first big bits is the front wheel and the front forks. So, already has the lovely VCX Plus cranks attached, bearing holders on, and that's just ready to go once we've got the rear spine all set up. Moving over here, you obviously got the rear spine with the brake outer and the brake cable already installed actually inside the spine. It's really annoying to do, so it's quite helpful that that's done. Up top, the bearings and part of the headset is already installed. Then you've got your rear forks, some bar tape, rear wheel, saddle, brake lever, your stem, bar ends, pedals, rear step, rest of the headset, gubbins, spacers, bolts, things like that, and then you also get an Allen key and our assembly instructions business card. So I think the first place to start would be the rear spine, and we'll get that together and then we'll go from there. So I've gone ahead and got rid of all the other parts that we don't need right now. We're just going to look at building up the rear spine. Looking at getting these rear forks fitted into the rear spine and the rear wheel in, and then the rear step all attached to that, and then getting the saddle on. Right, so for building up our rear spine we're going to need these tools. I've got a 5mm Allen key, some bicycle grease and a rubber glove, and then I've got a 13 and a 15mm spanner, and then that's all I'm going to need to put all the bits onto the rear spine. These big bits of cardboard actually come out of the box, probably like you've just seen in the video. These come in really handy for not damaging any parts, so you can just put them on the floor, stack everything on them, nothing's going to get scratched that way. So the first things we want to be doing is getting our rear forks into our rear spine. First things we need to do is take our 5mm Allen key and loosen off the bolts at the bottom of the spine. Yep, so there's no clamping power on that, so we can definitely get the forks nicely in. Next thing we need to do is we need to grease this shaft a bit, just so over time it doesn't get stuck, and if we ever need to adjust it, it'll come back out nicely. The easiest way to do this, take your rubber glove and then squirt a bit of your bicycle grease in the centre of your hand and sort of smush it about a little bit, and then take your rear forks and just give it a nice coating over that like that, and then you can put these down and take your rubber glove off, and you're not going to spread grease everywhere. Next, take your rear step, and this obviously has been loosened off like we have done with the rear forks. This just slides over there, push it all the way to the bottom, and you can take your forks, slide them into the frame, and then with your 5mm Allen key you can just tighten down on these two bolts until there's a bit of clamping power. Just like that. And there we go, rear forks are in. Let's move on to the rear wheel there. Right, so take your rear wheel, wind the 15mm nuts all the way off, so they've got a nice big gap, and then swap them into the rear forks. Like that. And with your 15mm spanner, wind them down, give it a nip up. As you can probably tell, I'm not tightening everything absolutely crazy at the moment. Once the Penny Farthing's more stood upright, we'll go over all the bolts for the rear forks, bolts for the rear wheel, bolts for the step, and give everything a tighten up once we know everything is square. Next, we're going to fit the saddle. The saddle bracket is in the short person position, so it's up inside the saddle, as you can see there. Check out my other video of penny farthing adjustments to see why it's like this, but for this video we're just going to get it together. So take the saddle, slip it over there, make sure the saddle's fairly level. Like I said, all this will get probably adjusted when the penny farthing is more upright and together. You'll be able to see a bit more, but we'll just wind this one bolt in, flip it over the other way, and give the other side a quick tighten. And I think that is the rear spine all complete. So just to recap, we've got the saddle on, moving down the bottom of the spine, we've got the adjustable rear step on, rear forks in, and the rear wheels in. Next, we're going to put the newly constructed rear spine onto the front wheel and forks. So take your rear spine, slip it over the steerer, like that. And we've got this little handy stand that I can lift it up and drop it into. And there we go. Let's move on to the next bit. Now we've got the two bits together. A couple of little things that I need to point out. This little plastic cap here indicates the back of the forks. This is very important for getting your cranks the right way around. That'll come later on when we mount pedals and things. Also, if you don't have a handy stand like we do, get a friend to hold it or lean up against a wall or anything you can do just to keep it upright. Before we get all the headset and the stem fitted, I thought I'd lay this out in the order they're supposed to be going on. Right, so first you've got your bearing top cap, and then after that there is a little rubber gasket that drops inside that one. It's got a certain way, you can sort of see the gaskets like that. Then there is a flat spacer like that compresses the little rubber gasket into the top cap. Then you've got two spacers that go underneath your stem. Then you've got your top cap, bolt, and a little rubber grommet plug thing that goes in your bolt. Also in your pack you get two extra spacers. You get a thin one and one like the other regular two. These are just spares, just in case you need to get the stem a little bit lower, and obviously you get your 5mm Allen key. And this is a little cable furrow. This is for the end of the brake cable. We'll come to that later on. So that's them all in order. Right, so first is your bearing top cap. Goes on there. And then we need our little rubber gasket. Goes down there. See me pushing the whole spine forward, that's just keeping it all aligned. Then you take your flat spacer that goes on top of your rubber gasket. It's all compressed down when it's tightened down. Then your 2 spacers, push that on there. Then you take your stem, push that on there. Then your top cap, drop the bolt in, drop that into there. And take your 5mm Allen key, wind that down, and you should see that all the spacers and that compress together. Can you see that? There we go, and you can see I haven't raved on that really tightly. Just needs nipping up to compress everything down, so all the bearings sit in there, races correctly, little rubber gasket goes in there and it aligns everything correctly. Right, get another Allen key and we'll tighten these up, and then we'll move on to handlebars. Right, next are the stem bolts. These are a 6mm Allen key, and you need to tighten these up in order so they're equally spacing and clamped together. You don't want to tighten one side up and leave the bottom loose, so tighten these together. These are the bolts that actually keep your handlebars straight, so obviously try and keep your stem straight with the wheel, and these are the bolts that keep your handlebars all nice and tight. The top cap bolt is just to compress everything, so don't go raving on that one to make sure your handlebars are straight. So let's just get these nice and tight. Just like that. No movement. It's trying to move the front wheel now. So there's the stem, headset and everything all in, and let's move on. Right, so we're going to fit the handlebars. I've already gone ahead and removed the 4 bolts and the top cap from the stem. So what you want to do is first take your freshly wrapped bars. If you watch my other video, Penny Farthing Adjustment, I'll show you how to wrap handlebars. So what we want to do is push that, get your bars somewhere in the centre and push that in there. Then take your top cap and put that on there, and then hold it all together like so, and take one of the bolts and thread them in top and bottom diagonally across the stem plate, and then take a 6mm Allen key and tighten them up a little bit. Put a bit of tension in these and then I can explain a bit more. What we want to do is tighten these bolts evenly so the stem and the plate go together like one. We don't want to tighten it tightly like that, they want to go together evenly. So if we keep tightening these two, so you can then put the other 2 bolts in, tighten them down to the same. Tension. Just like that, and there we go, there's the handlebars fitted. Right, let's move on to the rear brake. We're going to start up the top with the rear brake. I've already gone ahead and mounted the brake lever onto the handlebars. It's dead simple, 5mm Allen key to open the clamp, as you can see here, and then just close the clamp up on the handlebars. For fitting the cable, obviously loop the cable over the other side of the penny farthing, pull a bit of the cable out, obviously don't pull it all out because you don't want it to come out the bottom, and then put it into the lever like that and thread it through, and then you'll have to just wind this adjuster out to get them all in line. So you can thread the cable through like that, and then push the outer and the cable all back together. And once you've got the cable and outer in, wind the adjuster back in, push the cable in nice and tight, and there you go. The top bit's done. Let's move on to the bottom. Right, we're at the back of the penny farthing looking at the rear caliper, and what the first thing we want to do is take our cable and thread it through there like that. Pull the outer down so it's all nice and tucked into there. Then I want to loosen off this 5mm Allen key bolt and slip the cable between the two plates, pushing it all the way down. Then wind this adjuster back a few turns, like that. So we've got a little bit of thingy, and then pull the brake together, pull the cable down. So with the brake blocks touching and the cable pulled tight, you can go ahead and nip that bolt up. And now wind this back. Should give you a nice distance for your pads, and that is the rear brake all set. This obviously little bit of cable here is obviously a little bit too long, so you can get some side cutters and cut that off. And that little brake furrow that came in with the headset and stuff, you can put that on the end, that when you cut the cable off, crimp it down, you're good to go. And then for the final piece, we're going to be fitting the pedals. You need to make sure you get these on the correct side. I've already gone ahead and fitted the right pedal over there. And obviously this is the left pedal because it's got a big L sticker on it. But if the stickers aren't there, stamped into the crank, or the pedal spline I should say, there's a L. And then that'll tell you which one's left or right. So, left crank, left pedal, thread it into the crank, and then with your 15mm spanner, go ahead and tighten that up, just like that. And there we go, all the pedals are on. And there we go, our 50-inch Mark IV is now together. Obviously after the fact I've gone over all the bolts and double checked everything and make sure everything was tight and square, made sure the rear wheel was in line with the front wheel. This is all this stuff that's done once it's together and we're happy with everything. And just give every bolt, every nut a good just spanner check, as we call it, just before we go out for our first ride. If you've got any questions, please comment them down below and we'll make sure to get back to you as soon as possible. And if you'd like to see more of these videos, please hit subscribe, and thank you for watching. Cheers guys.